Hey everybody, my name's Logan,
And my name's Lance.
and welcome to The Drop. Now, instead of getting the drop on last night's game, because there was none, this is a complete preview of round two, Stars versus the Blues. What do you have to... What encompasses this game, Dad? Who do you think has the advantage overall?
I think the teams are both physical, big teams.
Yeah,
So
most
it's going to
definitely.
be a very physical game. The first series of the Blues and Blackhawks was physical, but not as physical as this one's going to be, I don't think. I think the Stars match up physically better against the Blues. Now, when
Mm-hmm.
it comes to speed, I don't think the Stars are as speedy or as like Patrick Kane
Yeah.
and Jonathan Taves and Duncan
Blackhawks are
Keith
just
and all
all around
that.
fast.
Yeah, and the key to the Blues Blackhawks series was the Blues wore down their defense.
Mm-hmm.
Seabrook, Keith, those guys were just wore down. They had to play more minutes. I mean, Keith and Seabrook play a lot of minutes, but they played more than they normally do in the series,
Yep.
so that they could stay there and be physical with the Blues. But I think when it comes to physicality, it's a pretty even match.
Yep.
What do you think about the goaltending?
Goaltending, I think we have them beat. Overall, just there's no way that. See, they're using two goalies, and we almost did that if we believe the rumors. We
Lettman and
almost,
Niemi.
yeah, exactly. But with Elliott, I just think we have the better advantage because if you saw in the Blackhawks game, Elliott was our rock. He was the reason we won and the reason the Blackhawks lost. Now, what's crazy for the Stars is that where is it? It's over here somewhere. Okay, so Sagan, he cannot skate yet, which is a big deal because
Yeah,
he's a huge part of their team.
He's their star. He's their big scorer.
Yep.
And Tyler
Other
Seguin,
than Jamie Benn.
Yeah, Seguin, he had an Achilles injury and had surgery in it back in March, and Dallas made a bad decision and brought him back in Game 2 against Minnesota.
Yep.
He played 12
They brought
to
him back
15
too early.
minutes. Yeah, he played 12 to 15 minutes and basically re-injured it. They're not saying that. They're just
No.
saying that he's injured, and it's
But-
similar to what he. Yeah, but his
But it's
Achilles was
exactly what
injured.
it sounds like. He came back too early and injured it, and that's exactly why you do not bring back players early. Now,
Especially with something like that.
Exactly.
If they had a shoulder and the shoulder was 95%, yeah, but
not something you have to, not something that pretty much carries you throughout the entire game.
nothing with your foot or ankles.
Exactly. And what's crazy is it just shows you how hindsight could have played a big part here, that a mistake made back in March is now affecting them in April's postseason. And it's just insane how that is.
Yeah, because it could have been a different series. I mean,
Yep.
the Minnesota played. Minnesota got in. They were the 8th team in, and they played respectably. I knew it'd be a 6-game series, but the thing about it is they're nowhere near as good as the Blues.
Yep.
And if I was them, I would have held him out, Tyler Seguin, that is, until the series 2 or till the end of series 1.
Yep.
Give him a couple extra days rest. I just thought it was a stupid move.
Yeah.
A stupid move by Ruff. And what probably happened was Tyler Seguin probably
He probably lied to the coach saying, "Hey, I'm
Tyler
okay.
Seguin,
I'm
he's
fine.
probably,
Look at me."
He probably telling them put me in, but it didn't happen. And getting back to Logan and the goalies, Niemi and Lettinen don't scare me at all.
No.
They're average goalies at best.
Which is why they're probably using two instead of just one.
I
overall best.
I have seen both of them get hot. I've seen Niemi in the past
Yep.
get hot against the Blues, and the Blues make him look really good.
Yep.
So that aspect kind of concerns me because sometimes the Blues can make a goalie look really good.
Oh yeah. Now with the Stars using Moen in Game 1. Now, the Dallas Stars coach Ruff expecting the series to be physical, and so am I, especially with Jamie Benn. Jamie Benn's a huge hitter for their team, and he's also a great scorer. So the veteran forward Travis Moen will likely will be lining up for Game 1 on Friday. That
Yeah,
Doesn't scare me too much, but I mean, he's a very, very good forward for their team. We'll just have to see where it turns out in game one.
yeah, he's a physical veteran that can, brings some stability, and along with Ben, be a big presence.
Yep.
Now, one thing about Ben is I've noticed, and other people have noticed, that for the Blues, man, he can really be an a-hole.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he's
Holy crap! Yeah.
He hits players dirty.
Yep.
He's just not just a rough player, but he can really be in.
Speaking about dirty, who do you think is the dirtier team? If we're speaking of just dirty all around, like who do you think has had past dirtiness?
Well,
for
the
lack of a better word.
the Blackhawks fans say that David Backes is the dirtiest player in the league and more dirty than Duncan Keith, even though
I don't see that.
David
Why?
Backes has never ever been suspended.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
all.
That's what I'm saying. That's the big key here. If he's the dirtiest player, he should be suspended. He should have been suspended somewhere in his career, but he hasn't, and that's the big reason to not believe any of that. Okay.
I would say that Jamie Benn
Yep.
is the dirtiest player
Yep.
on the Stars, especially with the Blues. I've seen him play other teams, and he's not quite as dirty, but I think the Blues bring out the dirtiness in him, I guess you could say.
So would you say that overall the Blues are not a very dirty team, or do you think there's one person in particular that comes to mind when you think of dirty for the Blues?
I really don't think of anybody dirty.
No, I just see people as hard hitters, like people
Yeah.
with hard hitters, because like with dirtiness, you see like cross checking a lot.
Yeah.
You see a bunch of
Elbows to the head,
sticks to the face.
a lot of boarding.
I'm speaking to you, Mister Keith for the Blackhawks, freaking hitting people in the face. Now, okay, so we're done talking about dirtiness. Now, Stars coach Ruff, he is really concerned with rust because if you saw with the Tampa Bay Lightning Islanders game, the Islanders won, but the Tampa Bay had more time to rest. They beat the Detroit Red Wings earlier than the Islanders beat the Panthers, but that just goes to show you that too much rest is a concern. Now with the Stars, they beat their team pretty early. They beat 4-2.
Yeah, but it was
4-2?
it was a day earlier than the Blues.
Yeah,
But a day can make a difference.
they can make a huge difference
between rust and stuff, and especially when you're facing a different team.
Yeah,
Minnesota was one of those teams that took it to 6 games and probably played better than everybody thought. But I don't think there's going to be rust. There could be rust on the Blues too.
yeah. That's very
because
true.
they're also playing against a different type of team.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's okay. Muscle memory, not just muscle memory, but like if you think of playoffs as a big couch, not a couch, but a big bed with memory foam. After you're laying there, pretty much playing a team for a long time, you get used to playing that certain way against the team. Now with the Stars, you have to play a completely different way. You have to lay on a different bed. Yeah, that's a stupid analogy, I know, but just think about it as that. Now, with facing a different team, you have to play a different way, and I'm very concerned that the Blues have gotten so used to the Blackhawks that they're going to play that way, and it's just not going to work out for them in Game 1.
Yeah,
That's concerning.
It could be to where the Blues are used to playing with that tricky skate around team, with people like
and that's
Hossa
not the Stars at all.
and Kane. But I think the Blues have enough experience this year against the Stars. They played very well against them, but that doesn't mean
4-1
anything in the playoffs. The Stars are going to be playing hard. I expect this to be a very physical game.
Yep.
The thing that concerns me is Dallas scores more goals than Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas's offense it's hard to believe with Taves and Kane and Hossa, but Dallas's offense is better than the Blackhawks.
Mm-hmm.
But the two keys is they get their offense and offensive opportunities by playing physical. Well, that's what the Blues already are used to.
Yeah.
The only difference is the Blues are going to get bruised and battered against a much bigger team. So I think it's a pretty even series. The Blues only finished a couple points behind Dallas for the Western Conference.
Yeah.
So I hate to say it, guys, but I picked Dallas to win this series in
I
my
actually did
playoff
too.
bracket challenge. Nothing against the Blues. The Blues could win it. They could, but it was so close. I just took the fact that they won the Western Conference. They're playing so well right now, and they played well at the end of the year, and that's why I picked them. That's on my bracket challenge.
Yeah.
My heart is picking the Blues, but
Oh, yeah.
we're going to go ahead and get into that later.
Yeah. So the Blues are not worried at all that they have an on-road advantage starting game 1. Because the Blues, as you've seen before, beating Chicago 2 games on the road at the Chicago Center, that it's just not a big deal for them. They don't really care where they are. They play the best they can play, and that's going to bode well for the Blues. What do you think about them having not an on-ice advantage?
I actually think it's better for them because I don't know why, but I heard it somewhere, and I may be wrong, that the Blues, excuse me,
Boom.
sorry,
First news of
excuse
the
me,
episode.
the Blues actually they were in the middle of the road, like number 15 when it comes to record at home.
Yep.
They're actually better on the road than they are at home.
That doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense, but
I mean, that could be the fans' fault.
I know. No, I think what it is a lot of times, teams feel more pressure at home.
Yep.
They're in front of their fans. Their fans
That's
are
true.
yelling.
That's true.
They're in the community, so on and so forth. And this year was just one of those years. So I'm not too concerned about it.
Yeah, I think that speaks to the fans' criticism, because like the Blues fans are they're so critical on their team, and that's because we like them. We love our team. We want them to be the best them they can be, and that's why the fans are so critical at points when they feel like the Blues aren't doing 100% what they can to win games. That speaks to the fans, criticism on them. And then actually, after we won Game 7 with Chicago, Hitchcock said that naysayers can take a day off. So obviously he knows that there's a lot of naysayers when it comes to Blues fans. But, it looks like they're just better on the road. That could be a reason. It could not be a reason. But, okay. So let's
go
look
over some of the stats.
Yeah, let's look at the regular season stats. Now, the Stars versus the Blues, goals per game. It looks like the Stars are beating the
That's what I
Blues.
said,
And they're
yeah.
number 1 in that. They're number 1.
No, it's went up. It's went up since the playoffs. The Blues are like at 2.8 to 2.9 goals a game, so it's more even.
Yeah.
But in the regular season, these are the regular season.
Yeah, these are
stats.
regular season. We're not talking postseason or anything like that. In the regular season, the Stars were number 1 when it comes to goals per game. With 3.2317, yeah. Let's just go with 3.2. We'll only include the first number because there's a lot of numbers after.
I was
the
going to
first number.
recommend.
Yeah, exactly. And the Blues are 2.6. Now, goals against per game, the Blues are winning. And
That's the goaltending.
Yeah, that's the goaltending right there. Right here we have 2.4 with the goals against per game for the Stars is 2.7. Now, shooting percent 5-on-5. They're winning with 8.03%, and we're losing.
It's close.
With 7.3. It's not. What's crazy is if you look at this, it goes back and forth on who's winning, who's not.
Mm-hmm.
It goes woo, 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 woo. Okay, so power play percentage. Obviously, we're not winning this because we're not. And this is the regular season, by the way. In the postseason, the Blues have been much better, better.
It's close on the power play percentage, and also the save percentage. The Blues really beat them out.
Yep.
At 0.93, and the Stars are at 0.91. But the power play percentage is only about 0.40 difference.
Yep.
In the regular season, so that's not a big difference.
No. Now the penalty kills. We are way better at penalty kills than they are.
Yeah, that is better.
85 point out of 82%. Shot attempts, they get more shots on goal barely. We're right behind them in that with 52, and we have 51. Face-offs. I mean, in the regular season, face-offs don't really matter, but in the postseason, they can change an entire game. And point percentage.
That's their winning percentages.
Winning percentages, they are second, and we are third. So we're literally right behind them in that.
Basically, there was Washington, Dallas, and then
Yep.
us when it comes to that.
So yeah, those are the stats for the regular season, but in the postseason, it looks like those stats don't really hold up because with the power plays, we've been doing much better on that. And penalty kills.
And the goals against per game went up.
Yep.
in the playoffs because I believe Dallas allowed 3.36 goals a game against the Minnesota Wild.
Yeah.
So, that makes a difference. The Blues, you want to go over the Blues playoff leaders, and I'll go say
Playoff
Dallas
leaders.
is
Where is that?
down the more. Go down right there.
Oh, playoff leaders. Here we go. Vladimir Tarasenko with 4 goals. Jaden Schwartz with 7 points. Assists. Alex Pietrangelo and Brian Elliott. Wow.
7 points total for Schwartz with goals and assists.
Yeah. And then we look at playoff leaders for them. Same amount of goals. Jamie Benn, 4 goals. Points. Jamie Benn, again, 10 points. Assist. Jamie Benn. Now, if you look at a pattern here, it looks like he's going to be our main guy to try to figure out. If we figure him out, if we get him down, we've won. That's what I'm going to say.
I think so. Yeah.
And then goals against average, Kari Lehtonen, 2.27. So it looks like our goalie's way better.
Elliott's 2.40, but Elliott played all 7 games. Lehtonen, I think, played 2 games or 3 games. So that's the difference.
Yes. Okay. Actually, I think. Hold on a second. Oh, this is good. I think we should. I think we should do this. Hold on a second, guys.
Go ahead. We'll do it.
Yeah, I gotta. Let's just select a region here. Sorry, guys. 1 second. We got to show you this. We just figured this out because it was on the stats page.
After this, we'll make our predictions.
Yeah, this will be a good info. So infographics for you guys. Oh, that needs to be a little bit bigger. There we go. Okay, so this is the infographics. Let's watch this. Power play percentage. Blues are beating them by
the playoffs. Yep.
Ranking. Is this playoffs? Yeah, this is playoff stats. So now we actually have playoff stats. 4th ranking and their 9th ranking.
Why don't we go ahead and play it and they can just see it? We don't have to make a lot of comments.
47. Ooh, 56. They're number 1 in that. Wow. Yeah. Ooh. That was
some good stats that the NHL brought out there.
Because it's postseason. I mean, it's the playoffs stats that we didn't have at the time before that video. Okay, so our predictions. Dad, what is yours?
Well, in my bracket challenge, I picked Dallas, but with my heart this time, I'm going to pick the Blues in 6 games. It could go 7, but I say 6 games.
Yep. And actually, I picked the same way. I picked 6 games, Stars winning. I just
hope it's not as an anxiety-driven series as Chicago. I want a good
series.
Oh, my God. I want a good series, but I can't mentally handle these double overtimes and 3-3 with 5 minutes left, and it's great and exciting.
If this goes Game 7, me and my dad will have to do this show in the hospital because we'll both be having strokes. I can't. I can't.
Those are our predictions. What do you think? Just let us know on our social media accounts,
such as Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Follow all those links down in the below. Go to our website where I will update it constantly on. Basically, we have little tiny boxes which has my dad's show on Shout Engine and the show right there for you, so you can listen to both on the go.
And my radio show is also available on iTunes. Just look up the St. Louis Blues The Drop podcast.
Exactly, so you can listen to it while you're doing the dishes on the road.
Well, you like people doing the dishes, don't you?
Yeah. Well, I gotta do them, so I mean, relating to people.
Put your earbuds in and do it while you're vacuuming.
Yeah, exactly, or do something
Don't
else.
Put your earbuds in and do it while you're mowing the lawn. I don't think that's safe, but if you want to.
I do that.
I won't take responsibility for it. Yeah. We offer
I'm a bad influence.
We offer no warranties, implied or non-implied.
Yeah, so. Exactly. Listen to the podcast while you're going to poop. While you're going poop, you can listen to the podcast. It's the best way to do it. I do it.
Who says that?
I do.
Oh.
I listen to
join us?
No.
Oh.
Okay. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I have been Logan.
And I am Lance.
And always will be. We'll get the drop on you guys on tonight. Tonight is the game. We forgot to mention that. Tonight is the game, so we will have a show tomorrow with a Blues win, because we need that win. If we lose game 1, I'm pretty sure it's a downhill slope from there.
The Blues have to win 1 in Dallas.
Yeah.
It'd be great for them to win 2, which is preferred, but they have to win 1 in Dallas.
They need to win 1. If they don't, I think we're on a slippery slope.
Slippery slope.
Because that's where they're best at. They're best away. They're best away. So that's it. Bye, guys.